Yo guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about why you need meaning in your life. Don't forget, if you enjoy this video, to go down and like, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss content like this and that we can grow this community. But anyway, let's get into the video. Meaning is the way, the path of a life more abundant, the place you live when you are guided by love and speaking truth, and when nothing you want or could possibly want takes any precedence over precisely that. Finding meaning in our lives is a journey that we all must go on, and it's not like we can really make something meaningful in our lives. We have to go on a journey of discovery to find what is meaningful to us. And two of the best ways to find meaning is to love and to speak truth. These are two pursuits that are precisely that, meaningful. Meaning is behind everything that we do, and all of us have allocated meaning in some aspect of our lives. I've added a quote here on this PowerPoint slide by Friedrich Nietzsche, a great philosopher, and I think it rings true. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. This demonstrates the significance and importance of meaning and the power it has to sustain us through hardships. The invention of sacrifice was arguably mankind's greatest invention. A lot of people talk about cars or the internet as man's greatest invention, but sacrifice was the realization that delayed gratification, working for our future selves, actually works, and we can bargain with the future. This was a huge step forward for mankind, because they now were no longer wild beasts, only concerned with the present moment, but they were rational animals with a plan for a better future. I've given some examples here of sacrifice, delayed gratification. Think of working and doing a job. You might not necessarily want to be there, but you're working so you can get money, so that the future is more prosperous. Think of saving food for tomorrow. You could quite easily, like a wolf, down everything that is in front of you, but you know that if you save the food, then that will put your future self and the people you love in a better position. And then think of the mother who lets her child leave the nest, which I cannot relate to as a young man, but I can imagine is a very scary thing to do. The mother is brave, and she does not sacrifice the development of her child for comfort and safety. She knows the inherent risks that come with being, but she knows that to further develop, her child must leave and venture out for themselves. The concept that life is suffering is a very old religious concept, and this is a consistent religious belief across multiple different traditions and cultures. Everything that is brought into being suffers. This is an inevitability, but it is our responsibility to find meaning strong enough to offset and justify the suffering we endure. Suffering with no meaning is almost making it worse for yourself, and I believe that that is why we have meaning, to justify the suffering of life. To be able to look suffering in the eye and say, it's still worth it, is a very strong thing indeed. Pursue what is meaningful and not what is expedient. Just imagine for a second that everybody, everywhere, did everything for the short term. The world would be chaos, and the future would be worse than the present. We must regulate our impulses, just like Stoicism teaches us, and we must organize them and unify them under meaning. Other animals are not necessarily aware of the suffering of their existence, but as conscious and intelligent beings, we are, and that is why it is our responsibility to discover meaning. It is not you who should ask for life's meaning, but it is rather life that is asking that question of you. Here's another great quote by Friedrich Nietzsche. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Nietzsche was a very smart man, and Nietzsche predicted the secularization of society and the rapid decline of religion in the 1900s, and as we're seeing also in the 2000s. Nietzsche realized that religion was such a strong and powerful source of meaning for so many people around the world, and that when it had declined, there would be no substitute. There would be nothing to replace it with. We may have escaped the tyranny caused by the dogmas of religion, but now we would be lost in the vast desert of meaninglessness. Nietzsche theorized that we would need to create our own values and, as he says, become the Übermensch. But what he didn't really take into account was that we cannot really create our values from nothing. We have to discover our values. This is why the expedition to discover meaning is so important and always will be. That's the end of the video, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you go down and like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss any future uploads. You should also go over to my channel because there are many videos there that you might find pique your interest. But anyway, thank you for watching. Stay strong.